Hey you guys, welcome back. Um, Coming back with another live video. I'm still in the ATL right now. I'll be back in Detroit tomorrow. Um, Please forgive the area, guys. If if my signal is a little off, I'm around a lot of trees. There's a lot of trees in the south. So, uh, but yeah, that's where we at with it. So look, uh, I wanted to take a minute to go live, help you guys out a little bit. Um, I want to share with you how I help one of my little coaching students start generating 10 grand a month in monthly revenue, and it's nothing really new. It's just part of putting your systems together. You guys hear me talk a lot about systems, and I'm a big fan of systems, right? I think it just make your business work that much better. Okay, so yeah, I want to talk about it. Here's the thing, guys. When I sit down and I decide like how much money or how much revenue I want to make on a monthly basis, weekly basis, whatever the case is, I always start with numbers that I feel is just uh, reachable, um, that I think I can actually get to, right? I don't try to say, well, you know what, I want to make $100,000 in the next 6 months, right? Even though I know in my mind that that's doable, sometimes when you never made that type of money before, sometimes it seems a bit far fetched. Okay. So that's what I wanted to kind of go live on. I feel like if you guys got a certain number, if it's 5 grand, 15 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is you want to make, guys, I think you need to start doing the arithmetic, start out, just writing the numbers down, right? I want to make 15 grand a month. Okay, now you know you want to make 15 grand a month. Now we have to decide what will it take to get to 15 grand a month, right? So that's what I did with one of my coaching students, and I want to go ahead and kind of just talk about this. And one of, I guess, the main things, because I gave him so many different avenues that he can take. I guess the one that stuck out the most was the cold calling. Okay, so here's the deal. I said, well, I'm not gonna say his name, but I told him, I said, well, what you would probably want to do is figure how you want to reach that $10,000 monthly revenue. Okay, so I said the quickest way is to find 10 people that'll pay you $1,000 a month. Do you think that's doable? So he thought about it and thought about it. He said, "Yeah, I'm sure that I could, you know, uh, you know, get at least 10 people to pay me at least $1,000 in monthly billing." Okay, so if you can find 10 contracts that'll pay you at least $1,000, boom, there go your 10K right there. 10 people to pay you $1,000. You see how I simplify it? You just break it down. It don't seem so daunting opposed to say, wow, how am I going to get to $10,000? Now, there's other ways that you can do it, right? Is, you know, you can have, more than 10 clients, right? And you break down the size of the money, right? So, but there's different ways that you can do it, but that seemed feasible for him when we talked about it. So, the thing that he had the problem with the most, because everybody's quarantining, some states are shut down, some is kind of reopened, whatever the case is, you guys. So therefore, you can't really necessarily be out there, even though our service is essential. Some states offer you the documentation where you're allowed to be out. I'm one of them. I have documentation to be out, in my areas and shit like that. So, but some don't offer you that, okay? But again, even though you're stuck in a house, I still want you guys to be very productive, just as productive as you can be, okay? Just be very, very productive, okay? So, what I did with the one coaching person, we sat down, we craft the type of accounts that he wanted to go after, which is more like plants, industrial buildings, so forth and so forth, office parks, that type of thing, property management companies, those type of companies. These are some of the companies that I like to go after myself, honestly, because it pays out greatly. Like even medical facilities, give and take. I get paid my most money through property management companies, apartment clean outs, and like office parks, plants, industrial buildings, things like this. This is where I make a lot of the bigger money, right? Um, oh, and even like rehabilitation centers and nursing homes, places like that, right? Some have day porter that we do, and then they have evening cleaning, and then some are just regular evening cleaning. Dialysis centers like that. So this is some of the type of accounts that I like to pick up to generate a lot of my big money. Need some water. Hold on, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. So this is the type of accounts that I like to go after, some for my bigger money. So I was explaining it to one of my coaching students, and he was catching on, but he didn't really feel comfortable because of the phone activity, right? Picking up the phones, to making the calls, that type of thing. So what I did, because I don't sell my script or anything like that, I helped him cultivate his own script. Since he's already in my coaching, I help him cultivate his own script, right? And I say all you have to do is make enough calls. Get yourself, put your, like with me, I have a quota, how many walkthroughs that I want to do a week or a month or whatever the case is. Guys, this is how business works. This is how business, like when you go to Best Buy, when you go to whatever storage, Foot Locker, Foot Action, whatever the case is, they have certain quotas. And if they don't meet those quotas, you guys, guess what happens? That representative will be let go. That representative will be let go. Okay. So again, you want to definitely pay attention, and you want to set some type of quota for yourself. And this is all part of putting your systems together. A lot of people, they don't do this, right? A lot of people don't keep up with their books and the bookkeeping and different things like that. But at the end of the day, if you start doing this and you start doing this on a regular basis, it'll come second nature to you. Okay. So how did I help my coaching student get 10K in billing monthly? Okay, so what we did together is, um, since he's in the coaching, we started making calls over the phone, right? So I helped him cultivate the script. We made some three-way calls, right? Where I made a call, he kind of listened to me. He see how I dealt with rebuttal, how I dealt with, being turned down or rebutting someone that told me no or whatever, without being salesy, without being pushy, right? It's a way that you can do it and still get in there and still be professional, okay? Right now, Corona is my top go-to thing, right? So I have that built into the script, which is what I helped him do. And this is how he was able to turn. Again, we used the 10 people times $1,000. Okay, that's the formula that we use. If you can find 10 people to pay you $1,000, they go your $10,000 monthly billing right there, right? And it worked. It worked. Told him what type of contracts to go after, in his area, and we started making calls, right? Just like just lead generation. I said, well, what I want to do is help you learn lead generation, so you wouldn't need like a lead generation from a Fabio or anybody else across the internet. If I could show you what I do to make the money that I make, and then you're able to duplicate that, you'll be able to essentially just do it yourself, right? You can hire your own in-house team. You can go hire somebody from Fiverr or Upwork, or anywhere, wherever you want to get them from, overseas, wherever you want to get them from, right, to make those calls for you. Okay. um and like I say, it's not as difficult as it seems. It's just you need to know how to do it first. I'm a big advocate of that. Most people, a lot of people, I should say, they say, well, Fabio, I don't want to do any calls. That's just not my specialty. I don't want to do any calls. I say, try it. I say just do it, right? Because no one likes to be denied. Whether you're going door to door, you cold call, whatever the case is, no one likes to be denied. But we all want to sell, right? So if you don't know how to sell, if you don't know how to talk to the client, whether you're going door to door, whether you're picking up the phones, you will never learn it, and you will never maximize your business at the height that it should be, because it's a lot of things that you just don't know because you never put yourself in that capacity to learn it, right? So again, that's what I did. So I say, how about we're going to get 10 contracts to pay us at least $1,000, okay? And we made the calls, and this didn't happen overnight. Don't let me get you let me make this sound like this happened overnight. It was a job, but I was able to help this deliver the goods, so to speak, right? Putting together a script, an effective script, right, with a set of rebuttal questions and different things like that, right? Because again, sometimes people will say, well, we clean in-house. Right now, it's easy to really get in, because you can kind of use Corona, right? You can kind of use the Corona with it. Let me see what he say. That's what it's all about. Yep. So right now, yeah, because and I be trying to tell people, like, picking up the phones isn't that difficult, right? Is No one wants to do it because no one wants to be turned away, right? No one wants to be turned down. But if I can show you what I do and help you cultivate that within your own organization, your own business, now you can go ahead and you could do it, right? It's going to feel uncomfortable, right? Even me, as good as I am, as good as I feel like I am, picking up the phones, going door to door, networking, whatever the case is, as good as I think I am, I still don't necessarily like to do it, but I do it from time to time. So again, guys, like I say, first we using $10,000. Okay. So if you want to make $10,000 a month, some of you guys are making more than this. It might sound insulting to some of you guys, right? So if you want to make $10,000 a month, you sit down, your pen and paper, and you kind of sketch it out how you're going to get to this $10,000. That's the figure you want to use. Okay, so if you could get 10 people to pay you $1,000, then you got your $10,000 a month, right? On a monthly basis. Okay, now you might use online platforms. You might use Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You might use all type of social medias to market, to get the traction coming in. You might go door to door. You might use the phones. So I'm not telling you one particular way to go to get to it, right? However you need to get to it, get to it. But for this particular person that I do coaching with, we sat down. He said, Fabio, it'd be great if I could get this, or at least get close to this. So $10,000 was that figure. Okay. So we sat down and say, well, do you think you can get 10 people to pay you $1,000? He said, yeah. I said, well, what type of account you want to go after? So he named some of the accounts. I said, well, have you thought about this account? Well, have you thought about that account? He said, no, Fabio, I didn't even think like that. So I say, well, let's add that to it. So again, like I said, we did some role playing where I would call on a three-way, then he would call on a three-way. I would kind of coach him. I tell him, hey, you kind of stumbled here. You might want to work on it here. You sound like you wasn't too sure there when they said you need to do this, or when they asked you this, you kind of didn't know if you offer that particular service, or if you were going to, do that particular. It's like, you got to know this stuff. You got to know this stuff. You understand? So like when my people do the lead generation for me, like my own people do it for me, right? I give them a quota. Hey, I need to get X amount of walkthroughs a week or a month or whatever the case is. And again, that's what I suggest that you guys do when you start building your own in-house lead generation team, because you need to have lead generation for a fact, right? Now, whether you do it or whether you hire it out, you definitely need to have it, right? You definitely need to do it. Right now, like I say, if you guys push the Corona thing, right? When people say, well, what do you mean by pushing Corona? Meaning going in there and disinfecting, fogging the place down, right? Getting it disinfected pretty good and kind of cleaning it up and all of that stuff. That was you know, if you got the proper machinery, you got the proper disinfectant, you know, that would sell itself. That would sell itself. You go on there professional, you might have your little uniform on and whatever. You go on there, that would sell itself. Especially, you know, you do it from top to bottom, you know, fog the place up. They like what you've done. They're more prone to keep hiring you on for just regular commercial cleaning. Okay. So like I say, business will return back to normal, right? Now, some of you guys clients might have cut you, you know, indefinitely. Some might have you on a pause, so to speak, right? Where, you know, it's just services pause right now until you can get back in there and get things going again, right? But at the end of the day, whatever that number is that you want to make, first put it on paper, figure out how you need to get to that number, however you feel you need to get to that number, and then you have to execute on that. So basically, that's how I was able to help one of my coaching students get to 10K a month, and it was just by phone with for this particular example. Okay, um, he didn't really want to do phones. He didn't, you know, really want to deal with scripts and making the phone calls. But I told him it was paramount that he do so, because I say, why pay someone else to help you do something that you can really essentially do yourself for a fraction of the cost, right? Why pay someone else to help you do something that you could really do for a fraction of the cost? Okay, so lead generation is definitely a big thing. It's a lot of companies out there selling it, but I'm here to tell you, you don't necessarily need those companies to do it, right? You don't need. You can get on the phone. You can get on the phone with somebody like me. I could share, you know, valuable information with you, how I implement it and how I put my script together, different things. You know, help you come up with your own script. Really sit down and take our time and do that. You give yourself a quota, just like you would give a quota to anybody that's working for you, right? Because you don't want to just pay a company to do it and then you get no traction, you get no walkthroughs, you get no nothing, right? And now the money is gone. The money that's allocated is gone, right? So at least if I could show you how to do it, help you build your script, right? We can kind of build Corona in there. Again, you guys can, you know my email. You can always hit me up. Email me at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. We'll sit down, see where you're at with it. I'll talk to you, what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you need to go about to do it, and we could do it. You know, people still ask me to this day, as many videos that I do, Fabio, what do I say when they call, when I call them? You know, and I got so many videos. What do I say to the gatekeeper when I go door to door? It's the same thing. It's one and the same. You know, when I call, ring, ring, thank you for calling ABC Dental. How may I help you? Hi, yes, I'm Fabio Hart with Hollywood Janitorial Service. Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility? It's just that simple. It made sense to me early on, right? It's that simple. Well, it would be Dick Smith. Great. Is Dick available at this time? He's out of the office right now. Do you want me to transfer you to his voicemail? No, that wouldn't be, you know, you won't have to do that. What will be a good time to call him back? I don't know if he's coming back to the office today. He's probably going to be back in the office tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay, thanks a lot. I greatly appreciate it. By the way, what's your name? My name is Sandra Smith. Okay, thanks a lot, Sandra. I greatly appreciate you. Take care. That's simple, right? Well, why did I ask for Sandra Smith's name? Okay. I asked for Sandra Smith's name because when I talk to Dick Smith tomorrow, and Dick asks, well, who referred you to me or who transferred you to me? Now I have a name to drip off of, Sandra Smith. And he know who Sandra Smith is, right? It's its gatekeeper, right? It's its receptionist or whoever, right? So again, it's the same way when you walk in the door. You know, you walk in the door, you walk into ABC Dental. Hello, good morning, ABC Dental. How may I help you? Are you here for an appointment, or you can sign in, or whatever the case is? You say, oh, no, I'm not here for an appointment. Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility? They say, what? Who would I speak to in regards to commercial cleaning for your facility? Oh, are you like a cleaning service or something? Yes. Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be Miss Johnson. She's not here right now. She's on vacation, whatever they say. Okay, then you get a card. You say, okay, does she have a card that, that I can kind of follow up on, or an email or anything like that? You can get the information, get the card, right? And then you can use that for future reference. And then you're going to still ask her the same thing. By the way, what's your name? My name is Alyssa Hart. Thanks a lot, Alyssa Hart. I greatly appreciate you. Once again, I'm Fabio Hart. Here's a business card for me if you would like to pass it on to the decision maker, right? Just that simple. Okay. So you'd be amazed at how many people still ask me that. And then if you do get them, right, let's say Miss Johnson is available. They say, hey, take a seat. Miss Johnson is available. Let me go get her for you right now. She come out. Hi, Miss Johnson. You shake her hand. I'm Fabio Hart with Hollywood Janitorial. Are you the appropriate person that I speak to for commercial cleaning? Say, yes, yes. Geez, the Facebook is going crazy. Say, yes, I'm the appropriate person that you would speak to. Great. The reason I stopped by is because I was in an area with leading expansion in this area for commercial cleaning services. And since I was in the area, I wanted to stop by to see if you had a commercial cleaning company, or perhaps would be interested in a commercial cleaning service or company, whichever sound better for you or roll off your tongue better, right? So they say, yeah, we thought about it, or whatever, whatever the case is, we thought about it. We're not interested right now. Do you have a business card? Then you can say, sure, you give them a business card. Now, sometimes I feel like, they kind of push me away. So there are some rebuttals that I have, when I feel like they're not sure, or they're just really trying to get me out the building, right? So even to line up a walkthrough, I say, well, if you got about 5 minutes or so, we could do a quick walkthrough. I always say quick walkthrough, even though I know it's not going to be quick, right? Because I'm always ready to write the details down. I said, well, if we can do a quick walkthrough, at least we can go ahead and line the numbers up. I could turn them in. And if you ever need them, I'll give you credit for those numbers, right? Oh, that'd be fine. Sure. Yeah, let's do a walkthrough. And then before long, you start to get to talking to them. They get to liking you. You like them. You compliment them. I'm good at that. Complimenting. I see certain things in the office. I say, oh, I see you like Daffy Duck, or whatever the case is. Oh, okay. My little niece is a big fan of Daffy Duck, whatever the case is, right? Become relatable. You understand? Salute Fabio for the chat. Hi, how's it going, Jordan? So, you want to become relatable because they'll remember things like that. You understand? So at first, they were lukewarm about the idea. Guys, go ahead and make sure you also like this. I greatly appreciate you all. So now they were a little bit lukewarm about the idea of doing a walkthrough. But you said, said what you said, and he's, hey, let's do a quick walkthrough. It won't take that long. And before you know it, now what was supposed to be 5 minutes, right? It's now 15, maybe 20 minutes in. You're doing a walkthrough, and you leave out the door. You make sure you get a business card, right? You make sure you get their card. You give them your card, and you also just go ahead and provide them with the numbers, right? Go ahead based on the information that they need, clean or whatever the case is, and you turn the numbers in. And even if they don't look at the numbers right away, they're not interested, they have the numbers on file. And if you're the type of company or the person to say, hey, I'll give you credit for those numbers, in a fashionable time. I'm not going to say you wait a whole year, right? Because supply and demand, right? Fluctuate. Things fluctuate, right? So in this, certain amount of time, you say, okay, if you become interested in the next 3 months, we give you credit for these numbers here, right? And that's fair, right? If you're not the type of company to do that, then don't offer that. Don't say you're going to give them credit for those numbers, but at least try to get the numbers in, right? But for the most part, I'm not really pushy in terms of when they say no, we're not interested, right? Only when I feel that I can, I don't know. I think I might be, if I say this, I might be able to at least get a walkthrough, which is what I want anyway. You understand? So again, guys, and that goes both ways over the phone. Over the phone. Now, like I said, with Corona, I manipulated my script a little bit. There's other things that I say that I didn't used to say, in my old scripts, I'm always changing things around because I want to make it better for my company. And if I'm coaching somebody, or I got people part of my coaching, I want to help them too. So I want to share that information with them and help them build their script. Therefore, when they go to make those calls, it sounds better for them, right? It makes sense to them. Okay. So again, guys, that's how I help just one of my coaching students start generating $10,000 monthly revenue. Now, it wasn't overnight. It was certain type of businesses that we went after, right? And I told them, well, you're gonna have to at least charge $1,000, at least $1,000 per client. Okay, so when you go in that door and you do your walkthroughs and whatever the case is, you're looking at least $1,000 in your mind to start off to make that $10,000. Okay, so again, some people, like I got DJ. I think he said, if I'm not mistaken, I think DJ said he get paid up front, right? 1 second, guys. I think DJ said he get paid up front, so he don't even net 30. I don't, if I remember correctly, right? So he don't even net 30 his people. He make them pay up front, right? But that's his little thing that works for him, right? So however he picks his clients up, he makes sure he uh, reiterate that to them so they know that they have to pay up front, right? So again, guys, your business is your business. However you want to run your business is entirely up to you. Okay, it's entirely up to you, but you have to uh, take the initiative and just step out there and try something, and try just like DJ. He tried that. I kind of shocked me when he said it. Right, I'm like, whoa, they pay you up front? He's like, yeah, they pay me up front, right? But it works for him. It works for him. So again, and that's why I tell you guys all the time, I don't know everything, right? You have to try something. But I would be upset with DJ if he just tried it once or he tried it twice or he don't keep doing it, because now it's breaking up his system. He's never going to get a system in place as far as picking up contracts or collecting his revenue or collecting billing if he just keep trying different things. Try to get one thing, nail in, hone in on that, and you keep working at that. You keep driving that. Again, that's how my business work on autopilot, right? That's how I got a lot of different systems. Everything is a system. Hiring is a system. Firing is a system. Payroll is a system. Everything is a system in your business. The startup process, system. Do everything systematically. You got that done, right? And then every intricate detail of your business is part of a system, and it comes together as a family of systems. Okay. So again, why they want to text me? So that's how that's how it should be done. That's how I would suggest that you guys do it. Okay, that's how I would suggest that you guys do it. If you guys have any questions, I would be more than willing to entertain them real quick. It wasn't really meant to be a long live, but I did want to kind of tap in and share with you how I think you should go ahead and approach that. I'm always experimenting though. I just took my first net 15. As long as it works, do what's best for you. Definitely. There you go, DJ. He said just tried his first net 15. If you know me, everybody know I'm really a big fan of a net 15 because they allow revenue to come in around the month, right? So you have maybe majority of your contracts might be net 30, right? And then you have some where it's a net 15, right? Why do they don't know. 1 second. Okay, I was about to call them, but uh, lost my train of thought. That's why I hate when that happens. But anyway, like I said, guys, everything is a system, a collection, or yeah, a collection of systems, right? All boiled up to one thing, to one big system that makes up your business. Okay. Oh, net 15. I like to make money around the clock. So whereas I don't have to wait for a net 30, I break some accounts up to a net 15, right? It makes sense for me that way. So if you're the type that pay, let's say, your employees bi-weekly, it might make sense for you to have a lot of, net 15 accounts, right? Where you, for residential, do you recommend Google and or Facebook ads? Yes, for both of them. Yep. Facebook has been incredible to me when in terms of picking up just residential clients, especially with this coronavirus stuff. If you want me to help you craft a campaign for that, bro, I don't know if we spoke before. The name doesn't look too familiar, but email me, HollywoodJanitorialServe at gmail.com, and I'll talk to you. I'll be more than willing to kind of help you out with that. And you just test the money, like you just test the campaign out for it, right? So it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, right? But you test the campaign, you put a little campaign, you test it out. You just have to know how you gonna collect the data, collect the information, right? Are you gonna send them to a website? Are you gonna have them call you? Are you gonna divert them maybe back to your YouTube channel? Are you gotta kind of figure that part out. But we could talk about that. But I do feel like you should do both. But I do think Facebook is very, very effective with it. Okay, and that's innovative cleaning. So yeah, the Facebook ads are very, very effective for picking up new cleaning jobs, and even like fogging for residential fogging. Um, for businesses, I would say do like AdSense, a lot of AdSense, even though it could get really, really expensive really, really fast on AdSense though. Okay, so it can add up, right? But I do think that they both are effective. Okay. So, but yeah, like I say, net 15, some people could build that, break your accounts up where you have money coming in basically every 2 weeks. And then you have the other revenue where the money coming in every 30 days, right? So that way you're not waiting 30 days basically for all of your contracts to pay you your billing. Okay. You have those that you can bill every 2 weeks. Okay. So, you guys have any more questions? I love to entertain them here. I'm a little over a half an hour. I'm doing good on time. You guys have any questions while you have me on here? I know a lot of people they email me. Sometimes we get backed up between me and Jasmine, and I don't get a chance to get to them. Guys, have any more questions? Have any more questions for me? Let me see here. Thanks. The first time I caught you on live. Been dying you to actually. Oh, yeah, definitely. Whenever you can't catch me on live, just drop it right here on the comment section. Myself or my assistant to be able to answer it, or you can always email me too. You can always email me HollywoodJanitorialServe at gmail.com. Hollywood Janitorial. How is your family doing? Um, my family is running me crazy. It's running me nuts. It's like I have to keep everybody's spirits up. I have to be the lawyer, the doctor, all of that stuff, right? I stay reading about this corona stuff, understanding. I stay up on what's going on from the political space, Donald Trump, and from the governor space. So, a lot of times people ask me, hey Fabio, when is it going to end? Do you know what's going on? They ask me a lot about the stimulus check, um, this SBA loans and different things like that. Is it still good to start a campaign in sanitation service if you don't have insurance? In other words, should you have insurance? Well, if you can get the insurance first, go ahead and knock the insurance out, right? But if you don't have insurance, don't let that deter you. Still get started. Okay, like I say, if you know my story, I don't know if you do, but when I first started, it took me like 9 months to get insurance. It took me 9 months to get insurance when I first started my commercial cleaning business. So that means I didn't have insurance for 9 months, right? But I had medium to smaller accounts. And as those checks accumulated and started coming in, then that's what paid for my insurance. Money was really, really a factor for me in the early on stages, right? I only had limited money to work from. So that's why I put in a lot of sweat equity and really kind of got my business going based off of sweat equity. Um, but like I say, if you have the money to get the insurance, go ahead and get the insurance, get it out the way. If you don't, still start your business, pick up some contracts. Hopefully, they don't ask you, to provide insurance, right? So you can kind of get some traction going. Me, I had my professional mask on. I was ready to go. My shirt, I was pressed out and looking good, smelling good, feeling good. I knew my business. I knew what I was going in there to do. I would try to stay on the topic that I wanted to stay on, hoping that they didn't ask me. And like I say, more smaller companies and professional offices did not ask me at all if I had insurance. So they didn't ask, so I didn't tell. I continued to do the work for them, month in and month out. And I was able to accumulate that money doing so. And that's what paid for my insurance. Is it a big deal to companies if you don't have insurance? What's hesitant about starting? You say, was it a big deal? No, not for me. Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning. I wouldn't say that it's not a big deal. It is a big deal. Uh, you do want to have it, but again, I wouldn't help them. You know, put that type of pressure on me if you know you can't afford it or you don't have it right now, right? So go in there, let them know what you can do for them, how you can service them, how you can be of service to them, right? You do your walkthrough, you give them a great price, right? You hit from every angle as far as that's concerned. Turn your numbers in. Hopefully, pick your numbers up or pick your contract up. And there you go. You get started. And then as you get to generating that revenue, then you can go ahead and buy the insurance. Okay. Um, I can assume that that still work to this day for the most tenacious one, I guess. What is the best coverage? What you mean? What is the best coverage? How much insurance should you buy? Does it take a long time to get insurance? No. As long as you have the money to get it, it don't take that long for them to draw up the policy. You guys have any more questions? If you was asking me about how much insurance, uh, industry standard right about now is $1 million policy. Some may ask you to have $2 million worth of insurance, but I would say at least $1 million worth of insurance. I know you're down with door-to-door sales for commercial cleaning, but door flyers for residential. We're strictly residential at this point. Our area doesn't allow. You say our area doesn't allow door-to-door sales. So your area don't allow you guys to go door to door. Is that what you're saying for residential? Or are you asking me if you should try that? People think it should. It's so expensive. It's really not. But a basic $1 million policy costs like $50. Yeah, yeah. It's really not. When I first started, I thought insurance when they was like, oh, $50,000 premium, I thought I was paying a lot of money. I'm like, shit, that's a lot of insurance, right? When I first started out, right? But as you get to, doing your check, checking if, you're comparing and contrasting different insurers, you realize that it's really not that expensive for insurance, right? It's really not. Wow, bro. Thought it was more than that. You thought it was more than what? You thought it was more than what? Yeah, you should. Well, if you can go door to door, I don't know how they don't want you to solicit, but it's okay to leave a flyer. That's kind of weird. But I would do that then. I would do that. You know, I don't necessarily know how they can stop that. Now, if you are going door to door and you see a no soliciting sign on the door, then I wouldn't go into the facility. But what I would do is copy down the information. If it's ABC Dental on 123 Oak Street and a number is whatever their number is, then I would just write down ABC Dental on Oak Street, write down a number, and then you go home and you can solicit them by phone. But I wouldn't disrespect them by seeing a sign that say no soliciting and then go in. Okay, that's for a business. For a homeowner, it's the same way. It's a matter of knocking on doors, right? You knock on doors, you introduce yourself, your company, or you have a door hanger or a flyer, and you can leave it, you know, if that's the route that you want to go. $50 is pretty, yeah. Well, we just being kind of modest with that. We're not saying basically, Brandon, that the company that you would call that it'll be $50. It just depends on what insurer you go with. But even if it's $100, $75, it could be as much as maybe $300, which is still not that bad. It's kind of up there, but it's not too bad, for a year, or you might, depending on how you want to pay the premium too. You could pay it monthly, you could pay it semi-annually, you could pay it for the year. You could pay it up for the year. So that's also a factor depending on how you want to pay it. But it, for all intents and purposes, is not it's not as expensive as you think it is. Innovative, you should definitely try everything. Not a problem, Brandon, not a problem at all. You definitely want to try everything, right? You want to try uh SEO, you want to try social media, you want to try, you know advertising, maybe your website. You want to try all different forms of marketing and ads, advertising, all different forms, right? Because I believe in running a business like a presidential campaign, but I don't believe in spending a buku dollars in the beginning. Like, I believe in sweat equity in the beginning, right? To bring it in, get some noise, get some traction going, right? And then with the money that come in, you dish back out. But if you got just minimum dollars that you're working with or working from, you don't want to go broke trying to just try this campaign and that campaign. You want to do some testing. Thank you for the insight on getting clients. You're more than welcome, innovative. You're more than welcome. Yeah, and if you're doing residential, innovative, and eventually you say, you know what, I want to go to commercial, then solidify your space in the residential section first, right? Just solidify. What I mean by that is generate enough monthly revenue, right? Where you still can take care of your bills, you covering all the costs, and then branch out. If you're going to do window washing, power washing, carpet cleaning, commercial, upholstery, whatever you're going to do, right? hauling, clean outs, whatever the case is. Guys, got any more questions for me? I'm still in the ATL. I'll be back in Detroit tomorrow. Guys, have any more questions for me? Any more questions for me? All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for now. I definitely appreciate you guys that join me here on the live, and 10-4 will do. Thank you again. Thank you more. Thank you more. I love you guys. I definitely will be in touch. I'm going to talk about on my upcoming video how I handled the sale of these contracts in Georgia. Once I get back into Detroit and get situated with that, I'm also going to still be talking more about this Corona stuff and how to navigate through this stuff and be able to still pick up contracts. If you guys have any particular video or subject matters that you want me to talk about, you can leave it on this video. You can email me at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. You can also leave it on the community tab, over there on the community tab, and I'll see it there. That way I can kind of target the videos and talk about what it is you guys need me to talk about. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for now. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. You guys take care.